The Global Challenges Fellowship, my research project is on political participation, democratic intervention and counterinsurgency, and I'm taking the case study of India's left-wing extremism. It's basically I'm trying to make a correlation between an increased political participation and stakeholder inclusion in decision making and policy making processes, which could actually help in combating the insurgency in India's leftist corridor. The study that I have taken is on left-wing extremism, and I feel it is very relevant for the simple reason that it is the longest battle that India has had and the longest insurgency that we've had, since 1947 and even before, and it has metamorphosed into an extremely violent conflict, which our previous Prime Minister had even named as the worst conflict that India has ever seen. Over the years, the ideology part of it has depleted. However, localized issues have been taken up in a very, I would say, aggressive manner by the insurgents in mobilizing troops and foot soldiers for their cause. And these localized issues are mostly to do with governance deficit, lack of education, lack of employment, lack of healthcare services, lack of drinking water. These are the kind of issues that they normally take up, and these can only be settled if these grievances are met by the Indian government. And while meeting these grievances, the Indian government has failed so far, because the voice of the most marginalized people, the tribals, the poor people living in these areas has not been included so far. Therefore, I took this study and this particular case study. The secondary reason for that was this insurgency is concentrated in the eastern corridors of India, which mostly, which basically sits on 85% of India's natural resources. So it has increasingly become a resource war as well, wherein the control over these resources has become the bone of contention. Therefore, it is important to make sure that somehow the root causes are addressed and this insurgency is put to a rest in a way that it doesn't come back again. It is about the most marginalized communities of India, some of the most primitive tribes in the whole world, and it cannot be ignored anymore. And therefore, coming from an academic researcher's point of view, it needs to be dealt in a way that every aspect of it is examined in the most comprehensive manner, and a solution can be arrived at after doing relevant research on that.